Hey fellow duelists, it's RagingRaidRaptor here, coming at you with another edition of Can Be Better, the series where I look at an archetype and see how it can be made better. Today's archetype is the one that my channel is based around, Raidraptors. This deck is a rank 4 spam deck that plays similarly to YuGiOh in the sense it can gain advantage by being able to play passively to search cards in the archetype using cards such as Forstrix, Mimicry Lanius and Raidraptor Nest, but can plus faster and can make much more aggressive plays. However, what separates this deck from other rank 4 decks is that it can use rank up cards to summon extremely powerful monsters such as the Cyber Dragon Infinity card, Raidraptor Revolution and Ultimate Falcon. The good things about this deck are, it is a dark attribute archetype, meaning that it has access to cards such as Evil Swarm Nightmare, Darklaw, Allure of Darkness, and works well in combination with the Lair of Darkness structure deck. It is also Winged Beast type, giving it access to cards such as Icarus Attack, Ice Beast Xerophane, and Raidraptor Bladeburner Falcon. The rank up cards are probably the best rank up cards in the game, with Soul Shaver allowing you to summon any Xyz monster that is 2 ranks higher than any Raidraptor Xyz monster in your graveyard, and a rank up card that can summon any Raidraptor monster 2 ranks higher than the one currently on your side of the field, which combos well with Lastrix and can still summon any Raidraptor Xyz monster from the graveyard. Mimicry can search any Raidraptor card from your deck by banishing it from the graveyard, giving you easy access to cards such as Nest, Cool and Readiness. It also has its own counter trap that can negate any spell or trap. It can grind really well with the combination of Sharp Lanius and Nest to re-establish your board. Also, Vanishing Lanius' effect can be used every time you summon it, as its card effect states once per turn, as opposed to the effect of Vanishing Lanius can only be used once per turn. For all the good things this deck has going for it, there are unfortunately a lot of not so good things about it. The non-quick play rank up cards and counter traps are not searchable through the monster effects within the archetype, as Mimicry's text states, add 1 Raidraptor card, and those cards do not have Raidraptor in their name, making them unsearchable with the effect of Mimicry. The actual quick play rank up cards are very situational, with the exception of Revolution Force, which allows you to summon a Raidraptor monster 1 rank higher than the one that's on the field, and can also use your opponent's Xyz monster with no material on their turn. However, Raptor's Force requires your opponent to destroy your Raidraptor Xyz monster, and Doom Force needs your monster to be destroyed in battle. Also, if you run out of copies of Nest, you have basically lost, as being able to recover your copies of Sharp Lanius is very important to keeping you in the game, as it can summon a Raidraptor monster from your graveyard, allowing Nest to recover other copies of Sharp Lanius. The first thing I think the deck needs is better rank up quick play cards. When I say better, what I mean is not necessarily stronger effects. Summoning Satellite Falcon on your opponent's turn and destroying all of their back row can be devastating if your opponent sets his whole hand at the end. What I'm saying is that I think they just need fewer restrictions. Being able to use your opponent's monster to summon out your own Xyz sounds very powerful in theory, but the limitation of only being able to use ones that do not have any material makes this highly situational. The second suggestion would be to create a monster that can search the normal rank up spells. I'm aware that cards such as Raidraptor's Ultimate Mace and Left Arm Offering can search them, But considering that Raptor's Mace needs the monster equipped to it to be attacked in order for its effect to activate, and Left Arm Offering is not always good since you might have more cards in your hand than you can use and might not want to banish all of them for one card. Having a monster that could search a normal rank up card by banishing itself from the graveyard similar to Mimicry would drastically increase the consistency of being able to rank up into cards such as Ultimate Dragon and Cyber Dragon Infinity in combination with Tribute Lanius, and would make Tribute Lanius' effect much more valuable. Likewise, I think there should also be a monster that can help you search for one counter trap in the archetype. I'm not sure if this would make the deck too powerful, but I found it strange that we've had solid ways to search for monsters, most of these spell and normal trap cards, and a not so solid way to search for rank up cards, but there isn't a way to search for counter traps within the archetype. Also, considering that most Pendulum decks post Clifforts can search any trap card by destroying Guiding Ariande more than once per turn, I fail to see why Raidraptors can't have a monster that does the same thing. While we're on the topic of trap cards, I also think the deck needs better normal trap cards, and maybe even a continuous trap. Currently the best trap that is searchable through Mimicry is Readiness, which is by no means a bad card for the deck, as it prevents your Raidraptor monsters by being destroyed by battle for a turn, and also not being able to take damage for a turn by banishing itself from the graveyard is pretty good. But I think they could use a trap that made Raidraptors unaffected by spell cards for one turn, and could also make a Raidraptor monster unaffected by card effects for one turn. In regards to what effect the continuous traps could have, I honestly don't know what effect it could possess, but I think it should help the deck make more aggressive plays, while also having the effect to add back any Raidraptor spell or trap card in your graveyard to your hand. Another suggestion is a new main deck monster that is similar to Fuzzy Lanius, where it can search a copy of itself from the deck when it is sent to the graveyard and special summon itself from the hand. However, this new version would not restrict you to only summoning Raidraptor monsters. This would give the deck the consistency and monster spam it always had, while not limiting you if you want to summon the newly released Firefighting Drama Doll or the upcoming Apprentice Witchling. Speaking of updating old Raidraptor monsters, the next suggestion is making an updated version of Sharp Lanius. Sharp Lanius was an excellent card for the deck, as it can switch any monster to defense position on the turn it was summoned, and it could special summon any Raidraptor monster from the graveyard to the field on the turn that it attacked. However, due to the introduction of Link monsters, this card's effect has been diminished simply because of the fact that Link monsters can't be switched to defense mode. My idea for updating this card would be to give it an effect where it can target one of your opponent's monsters and let it gain half the attack points of that monster while it's on the field, but still keep the grave summoning effect. This would make the new Sharp Lanius better suited to combating Link monsters, while forcing your opponent to use more resources to get rid of it. While on the topic of Link monsters, the next suggestion would be to create a Link 2 monster with its arrows facing the bottom left and right. Although we already have Firefighting Drama Doll and Apprentice Witchling in the OCG that helps Raidraptors, having a Link monster for the archetype would make it easier to Link summoning with the original Fuzzy Lanius. But what would its effects be? I was thinking about it having an effect where it could search any card with Raidraptor in the text, as that would automatically fill the needs of a card that can search for counter traps, rank up cards, and all other cards we already have searchable within the archetype with one stroke. Maybe the condition to activate it would be that a Raidraptor Xyz monster needs to be used when summoning it, or having a Raidraptor monster that has to be summoned into its link markers. However, I think it should only be summonable within the archetype, as Darmadol is accessible to every other winged beast deck such as Harpies and every beast and beast warrior archetype. In addition to a Raidraptor link monster, I think the deck could also benefit from the introduction of more good dark attribute rank 4s with offensive applications, such as Raidraptor Bladeburner Falcon, or a new Evil Swarm rank 4 that needs 2 dark attribute monsters to summon, similar to Nightmare, but instead of flipping special summon monsters face down, it can return them to the top of the deck to make Duke Shade from the Layer of Darkness structure deck a lot more useful for the deck. And maybe even a good dark attribute rank 6 so that you can summon it with Soul Shaver Force under Duke Shade's effect, so that it can gain the attack boost from Apprentice Witchling. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Can Be Better. If you have any suggestions on how to make the Raidraptor deck better, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a like or share it with your friends? It would be greatly appreciated and would help the growth of the channel as a whole. I've been RagingRaidRaptor, and I'll see you all again next time.